just a little unwell, a little unwell, how I used to be.
So let's begin the journey with topic number 1. Where am I going? Do you remember the time, as painful as this might be, when your life changed? Perhaps it was a single moment of realization, waking up in hospital after an accident, or sitting across the table at the doctor's surgery hearing some bad news. Or perhaps this change in your life was a lot more subtle, a more insidious, slow, dawning awareness. Whatever that moment may have been is a very personal one, and a very important one in your life story. We think of this as our journey, the journey of living with an illness or a disability. This road can often be a bumpy one, with many twists and turns along the way, and at times things may seem to just block our path and we struggle to continue forward. And this path of living with an illness or a disability can have a powerful impact on us. It can touch our lives with fear and frustration, grief and loneliness. It is a journey that many others never experience or understand. And that's why it's so important that we meet with fellow travellers on the road and perhaps even seek their guidance along the way. Many paths lead to this place. We've been using the terms illness or disability very broadly, but there may be many paths that lead to this place. Each person's path may be very different, and so each person working through this program may have very different physical limitations and issues that they're living with and dealing with in their daily lives. Here are just a few possibilities. You may have been born with this condition, or it may be a medical condition developing slowly over time. It may be a result of an old injury or accident, or it may have been a recent injury. You may have experienced a recent diagnosis of a serious condition. And these issues may be affecting your mobility or causing pain and constant discomfort, affecting your energy levels or your speech, your eyesight or hearing, your breathing, or the foods that you can eat. It may have a name such as arthritis, diabetes, cancer, sports injury, car accident, or being visually or hearing impaired. Or it may be harder to label. All of this impacts greatly on the uniqueness of each person's journey. Stages in the journey. There are some common struggles and challenges that people living with an illness or a disability experience from time to time. And these sometimes come in stages, like people move through one after the other along their path. Sometimes they are more like a roller coaster ride, going through ups and downs and moving forward and then revisiting old issues again. So let's look at some of these stages along the way. Stage 1, diagnosis. In the early days, especially around the time of diagnosis, waking up in hospital after an accident, the person may feel numb and have a sense of disbelief. It's hard to believe it's happening. Stage 2, impact. As this numbness lifts, often more intense emotions and thoughts arise. This has been known as the impact stage, where some of the full meaning of what has happened hits hard. Stage 3, empty. While the impact stage is highly charged emotionally, the stage following is usually more draining. The intensity wanes, leaving the person feeling empty, exhausted, or down. Stage 4, coping. Emerging from this emotionally low place, people often begin to put their pieces together to help themselves adjust, cope, deal with what is happening. And this is known as the coping stage. And stage 5, living again. For some people, but perhaps not many, there is a stage beyond just coping. This is known as the stage of living again. In this place, the person is able to find new meaning in their lives and a new passion to continue moving forward and live as full a life as possible. The traveller's secret. Sometimes an illness or disability feels like our constant companion, our uninvited visitor, an unwelcome guest that travels with us wherever we go and overshadows everything we experience. However, there is a secret that I'd like to share with you. It's a secret known only by fellow travellers on this journey. But before I share it with you, there's something you need to know. Illness or disability can affect anyone, the young and the old, the rich and the poor. You may not know why this has happened to you. You can only wonder about how you will live with it. And so, here's the secret. Real healing has less to do with the state of the physical body as it has to do with the inner health of the heart and the mind. You may need to take a few moments to let that sink in. Real healing has less to do with the state of the physical body as it has to do with the inner health of the heart and the mind. And it is this emotional journey of healing, the inner health of the heart and the mind, that we are exploring in this program. So that brings us to the end of topic number 1, where am I going? A topic where we looked at the road less travelled, the many paths that lead to this place, the stages along the journey, and lastly, the traveller's secret. As you move ahead, please spend some time reflecting on the questions that go with this topic and getting involved in the tasks that help us use this in our everyday life. And when you're ready, move forward to topic number 2.